how did that translate to working at the White House as a chef and all that? How did that all translate from the military to that? Was that part of the process, or was
That,
that after?
no, no, no. It was part of the process.
That
It
was
was,
part of the process, huh?
that was part of the process, and that was another story because that wasn't supposed to happen either. Because the person who got me there was a person who didn't want me to come there in the first place. You
Explain.
know, so when I had to try out for a job in Washington D.C., I was at Fort Campbell in the military, and someone called me up one day and said, "Hey, chef, do you want to come and try out and come to DC?" And I was being a smart bud, and I was like, "What? You need me to come over and take somebody out? I'm down for that. Let's do it." I was a pretty active kid. I was pretty gung ho, meaning that I love the woods, I love the water, I love the field, I love the dirt, I love the grind. But I also like to be fancy every now and then.
Yeah.
When I do my cooking stuff. But my commander hated me being. He hated that cook shit, as he would call it. It was time
Yeah.
to get to the real army, real military, which I was so into that part of it that even that cook shit was part of the military. That
Yeah.
was part of what we do. Every aspect of every job in the military is what we do and it's relevant. No matter how minute you may think it is or whatever, but food, which I found out was the foundation because it was morale.
Yeah.
Food will
Yeah.
bring you up. You
Yeah.
know, food
Yeah.
was one of those things where I got a good hot chow from coffee to tea to just a hot meal and a cot. It was what it was.
Yeah.
And long story short was I went and tried. I tried out. I had to go to the Pentagon. I tried out for 4 days straight. Other people were trying out also. They were there for like 30 days. I had 4 days to prove myself.
Yeah.
And it was unlikely that I'll get the job just because I had 4 days. They had 30 days. That
Yeah.
wasn't going to happen. That's all they gave me.
Yeah.
And I worked my butt off, like I always do.
Yeah.
Literally, I worked hard. I didn't even look at any pictures. I didn't look at anything. I just worked. I wasn't in awe. I just came there to work like I always do.
Yeah.
I did the exact same thing when I got to the White House. I never looked at anything. I'm like, what's my job? Because I didn't doubt myself, but I knew myself. I knew that people were going to judge me. I knew people were going to be looking at me and they were going to try to look for any fault or any explanation they can not to hire me, to see that I'm going to mess up. That
Yeah.
wasn't in my head. Not that I didn't believe in myself, but I know people. First impressions are a thing.
Yeah.
So after I left there, I waited for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, finally 4 weeks later, a Navy guy called me up. And he told me, "Hey, I want you to come into DC, pack your bags, we're going to go." And when my commander found out, he didn't want me to go. And he was upset
Wow.
about it. And then the actual colonel that was in charge said, "Leave him alone. He is going." Now, fast forward 15 years after that, this colonel who told him to leave me alone was now a general, and he remembered me. And he told me why he wanted me to go because he said he needed people that he knew was going to do great things. So when he said that, I went there. And this is when I got introduced to joint forces, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
all together,
Yeah.
right? So this doesn't happen a lot,
Yeah.
right? So there had Army guys, Navy guys, and so forth, so on. The Army guy didn't want me to come, and I found out early on that he didn't want me to come because one of the other guys told me like, "Hey, he didn't want you here, blah blah blah," and I knew he didn't, but I still worked really hard for him.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't show me anything because he just didn't show me a lot of stuff. He would kind of arbitrary. We worked in the same place. And I told him, I was very honest with him. I said, "Hey, I'm not going to kiss your butt." I said, "I'm here to do the job." I
Yeah.
said, "Just let me do it." And he didn't like that. But long story short was we had a big event and it was for some royalty. And something he had done a million times that was perfect because this was a great show. I mean, to this day, he's my mentor. We're greatest friends.
Yeah.
But for some reason, this dessert that he did fell apart out of the blue. And it was, I say in my book that food can save lives and end lives and can start wars and peace and all that. It's true. I
Yeah.
mean, people don't understand how important it is, how food, especially in the White House.
Yeah.
And He panicked. He froze. Long story short, I had to do it, and I did it. What would take literally a whole day to do this thing because it said overnight, I did within 30 minutes.
Oh,
And
wow.
after that, the guy told him he said, he saved your butt. This guy saved your butt. And when he said that, he meant that because it would have ended his career.
Yeah.
The next day, he came to me afterwards. He said, good job, chef. And he said, hey, I want to take you somewhere. And like I said, this was a great, great chef.
Yeah.
And he brought me over to the White House. He said, I can let you knock on the door and get you in, but everything else is up to you. And that's what happened. And I got on the door and I didn't look left or right. I said, what's the job? What do I have to do? And that's what I did. And that's what I continue to do.